So last night I put some new items out and I arranged this real nicely, and I came out this morning and I looked at it and thought, well, nope, nothing happened. But I was wrong, because I think I have a picture to show you, but right there I put an old chimpanzee statue that I had, figurine, and look where it is. It's under the bench, upside down on its head. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Apparently they don't, either they do like it and we're playing with it, or they don't like it. And I don't see how that could have just fallen from an animal messing or something like that, because it was in between all this other stuff. It had to be picked up and put there. Apparently that caught their interest. Well, I'll put it back and we'll see if something else happens. They probably like, I mean, before, when I first got it, I got that and I got an orangutan and I put it out, and they seem to not like the orangutan, and that one they seem to be okay with. So I thought, oh, I'll put it back out and see what happens. But oh boy, it's funny. Okay, now I didn't see on my first go around, I didn't see anything else much, but I did see a couple of stick formations on the ground that looked a little iffy. And I took pictures, but I didn't do a video because I wasn't sure. But now that I know they were up, kind of sheds a new light on things. You see, it's pretty windy, so the gym mowed yesterday, and these sticks weren't here because he mowed, and he either mowed them over or moved them. So the first one that I found that caught my interest was right here at the corner of the house, which is where they have put numerous stick formations and rocks and things. And this caught my interest because, like I said, it's right here at the corner. It's one stick with this piece broken over, and it's got a vertical piece tucked under it, and it makes a perfect triangle. Here is the other possible glyph stick formation that I found, and there's the other one right there at the corner of the house anyways, and the other one is right here, and this one is a little less like, you can't really say for sure that it is something. But this stick, it's trident for one thing, but it crosses this one. It's vertical over it, and it's right in the middle of our bedroom window, centered. So I was just making my way back in the house, and I noticed something else. The tea's upside down on the fridge, the letters, which is something they do quite often too. But I know I was checking that yesterday when I would walk by and nothing happened, but last night I left the garage open for a little bit before we went to bed. It was completely open, and then I came out and closed everything down and shut the door, and they had to have done it then. So there's something else they did. And something else I wanted to say is last night Bitsy was inside the garage all night, so as far as that chimpanzee goes and everything, that couldn't have been her at all, which I didn't think so anyways, but it was physically impossible because she was in the garage. Okay, so Jim and I went to town. We were going about 2.5 hours. Before I left, I checked everything, and the chimp was up there where I put it this morning. Now it's on the ground again. So apparently they were up, and they either were playing with it or they just don't like it. So I'll put it back one more time and we'll see if anything else happens. Okay, it's Sunday, June 19th, and it is 8:50. I slept in today. First thing I saw when I came out here is that the chimp is not in its spot. I put it back. This is also turned over. And I can't find the chimp. Kind of blends in, but I don't see him so far. So if they took him, I guess we'll find out if they bring it back. Then that might mean that they liked it. Because I can't find it. So I'm thinking if they liked it, they might have taken it to keep for a while. So I'm gonna let you know when if I find it, I guess. Other than that, I don't see anything else out of place at the moment. Oh my God, I just found the chimp in our new water fountain. Drowned? Good grief. Wowzers. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell them that I'm gonna take it in because I don't think they like it. Alrighty. That's nuts. Alright. I just got up from a nap, and while I was taking my nap, Jim was on the back porch or inside the whole time. That's a bull. Then after I got up, we came out here to the front porch, and as I sat in my chair right there, I looked down and noticed this on the ground on the porch floor, and especially from where I sit, it's arranged very oddly. I mean, there's two parallel sticks with one placed perfectly balanced and in the middle of it, of the other two. And to me that looks like a glyph. And then I came over here to look at the steps because they've been putting stuff on the steps. And this stick wasn't there. If you remember, they had moved these ones back. But now that stick and the one down there are both angled at pretty much the same angle. So on the second and fourth steps. So I don't know, it could be natural, but it's kind of weird. Okay, this is Friday, June 24th. It's 1:38 p.m. And Jim just got done mowing the yard. And the van was parked right there. It's his work van. He always pulls it into the gravel so that he can mow where he usually parks. So, while he was mowing, I was inside laying down, and then I got up and I was just in the house. I wasn't really looking out here much or anything, but I was in the living room and, you know. And then Jim, I went to tell him something about Bigfoot related, and he said, "Oh, by the way, were you outside or up or whatever while I was mowing?" And I was like, well, I wasn't outside, but I was up. He said, "Because there's a stick laying across part of the van. Inside, he had the windows." Oh, it's locked. Well, let me see. Where in the world did he say it was? Oh, right there, I see it. He said it wasn't there. He just used this van this morning, and it was not in there. Let's see if I can. Having a hard time seeing. Yeah, right there. So, like, it's right behind the steering wheel, and that's where he sits. So, yeah, it's right there. So apparently they put that in there while he was mowing and I was inside. Well, looky here. A triangle. See, he just mowed though. I mean, but that's pretty down deep in the grass. Like, it's probably been there a while. So let me see. I'm gonna take a picture before I start touching it. Hold on. Okay, now I haven't been looking in this part of the yard very much, but okay, that's a separate stick. It's the biggest one. This is a separate stick. This is a separate stick, and so is this, and it makes a perfect triangle. I'm gonna say that just didn't happen naturally. And I don't think the mower placed it that way either. So, I think I'm gonna look around a little more. If you go from that triangle, there's 3 sticks. So they're kind of having a thing about sticks right now. So they put the one in Jim's van just a little bit ago. There's a Y stick, but that may have gotten thrown up there from the mower. I was noticing something. Oh, yesterday I noticed an added stick. Well, what the heck? Okay, there was this stick. There was this stick. I noticed an added stick, and now there's another added stick right up against it. So they're adding sticks to this top step thing here. Okay. Okay, I took this picture on the 19th, so 4 days ago. As you can see, it is a little different now. Sun's messing stuff up. That stick's a little bit different down there on the second step. That stick is moved, which this is probably just from us and the cat's coming up and down. But this here, see, that looks pretty much the same, except for, I think, this stick right here is now been moved there, and this stick is turned, and the one that was here is now up against it. And then there's also that stick added in. I don't know where it came from. So anyway, it seems like they're adding to it. Oh, looky here. A stick on the swing. Right in the center of the swing. Huh. I was just sitting on that last night, so I would have seen that. That's pretty cool. Maybe because I was sitting there last night. Yep, they're doing a lot with sticks right now. This is Sunday, June 26th, 9:44 a.m. I was sitting here eating breakfast, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, up in the trees, up there behind the shed, there's a, like, at the corner, I don't know how to explain it, it kind of comes out almost to our driveway behind that tree, but there's field. But anyways, that section of woods, we've heard numerous vocals and activity coming from up there. Well, all of a sudden, at about, it was probably not quite 10 minutes ago, out of nowhere, a whole pack of coyotes just started up and went crazy. And I don't believe I have ever heard a pack of coyotes during the day like that here. Now, we've seen coyotes, like we've seen a single coyote, and I have one time, I think, saw two together. Like Jim was saying, we have never seen a pack of coyotes. Which just goes to say, I mean, we know we got like 3 packs of coyotes here. And the fact that we don't ever see them just shows how something common can live on your property and you don't see the whole pack. So anyways, back to the story. They went nuts. I was eating breakfast, so I just sat here. Jim went out the front door onto the porch, and he was paying very close attention. And what he said he observed is that they were going wacko, like I was hearing. And then he saw a rabbit run away from that area, and a groundhog come running down. He's got a hole back in here, and it went running. But in amongst the coyotes, he heard at about the same volume as the coyotes, but it didn't sound like a coyote. A woo! And then all of a sudden, stopped. The coyotes stopped it after the woo came immediately. And that I witnessed too, because I could hear them they just all of a sudden stopped. And that's, I mean, they do that. So that was weird. Jim thought it was weird, and he didn't think that the woo sounded like a coyote. So that is how our day has started. And we'll see if anything else happens today. Okay, I have another story that I want to tell you that involves my kitty there, Amy. Oh, by the way, whenever the coyotes started up, she was in that chair, and she was laying down, and she sat up and was looking out the window where Jim was on the porch, sitting straight up. And then at one point, while it was all going on, she jumped down behind the chair like she was scared and came in here. So anyways, the other story that I have about Amy happened towards the beginning of the month. And it's actually kind of a two-parter because part of it happened with Jim in the morning when he was getting ready for work. But he didn't tell me about it until later, because what happened with me and Amy, I was still in bed, and when I got up, I messaged Jim and told him, "Can you call me?" And I said, "I have a strange story to tell you. Something weird that happened this morning." So he called me and I told him what happened, and then he goes, "Well, I also have a strange story to tell you that happened this morning that involved Amy." So here's what happened. I'll tell you in chronological order what happened, starting with Jim's event. He said that he was up getting ready for work, and Amy usually follows him around, and he gets her food and all that kind of thing in the morning. And this particular morning, she would not go past, let me get up, I'll show you. She would not go past the threshold to the kitchen. And she's usually all over us when we get up, wanting food and everything. But she wouldn't go past this, and she kept coming. Jim said she would come to the doorway and look at the window, like she was expecting something to be there, and she was afraid. She would not go into the kitchen. So that was his part of the story. Now, my part was that I was in bed. Amy came in, was very insistent on waking me up, and she does not do that. She'll come in and lay up by my legs and just wait for me to get up, and when I get up, she gets up. But there are times when she comes in like she's trying to tell us something during the night or whatever. She'll meow, 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 trying to get us, like something. And whenever that happens, there has been something, we can tell something happens with her and the Bigfoots. So anyways, this day she came in and was being so insistent on waking me up. And I wasn't ready to get up yet, so I waited a little bit. And she gave up and laid down with me. Then, when I did get up, this is the the weirder part. When I got up, I came out here and I looked out the door and I saw something very strange. I saw a slug making its way across the carpet, heading towards the steps. Now, the reason that that's weird is another story. Towards the beginning of the month, or around that time, I discovered that the slugs were just devouring my flowers in the back. So I went on, I went on the warpath against slugs, and hold on, I'm going to try to get that off the lens. Okay, apparently that's on the inside of the lens, so I'm not going to be able to get it off right away. But anyhow, at the beginning of the month, I was on the warpath against slugs. And I would go out in the morning, I would go out at night, and I would hunt them down, and I was out there for hours gathering slugs into a container and then dispensing of them. And so why I think it's so weird that a slug was on my front porch is that, for one thing, why would a slug be on the carpet on the front porch? How did it get there? Slugs don't like dry, scratchy things like that because it will make them, it's abrasive. They don't like that. So what I thought happened was possibly that Amy observed a Bigfoot come up to the house, maybe the porch, and I think I think that one of them brought me a slug, and it was a big old fat juicy one, and it was going, like I said, it was going from the door towards the steps. So I think that's maybe why she was trying to wake me up. And I also think that the reason that she didn't want to go in the kitchen is because she saw a Bigfoot looking through that window. So that was that weird story from the first of the month. And it was kind of funny about the slug, but after that happened, there was a few days where Amy would not then want to go to the living room. She stayed in the kitchen area and back in there and wouldn't come out this way. So we're thinking something scared her again. I don't know what's going on with her and the Bigfoots, but she's finally now coming out of it, and she's back to roaming freely and everything. So, but there for a while, she was acting so weird, and so that's that story. Okay, this is Monday, June 27th, 1:53 p.m. Okay, this morning I got up and I came out and I did see something happen, but I was really tired and stuff, so I took a picture, but I didn't do a video. What I noticed was this little Bigfoot is turned over. It's the smallest one in the group, and I think a little one's been up a lot lately. Let me go around. Because I've been hearing stuff on the audio that I've been listening to that I had, especially this one that I had it in the basket. So back to a little one coming up a lot. There's this little guy turned over. Now this wasn't like this last night. I checked for sure. And there's a hair on it. You know, if this was a Bigfoot that turned it over, it's like either maybe it was identifying with the small one, so it was messing with it, or maybe they're letting me know it was a small one that was up. I don't know. I'm going to check, I'm going to gather that hair. And then there's more to this story, so I got to keep going. Jim and I have been inside. I laid back down. I slept for a few hours. I got up. We've been inside. Jim went out front to water some plants, and then he came into the garage. And he said, well, I guess I haven't told you about... Yeah, I told you. You would know about this. The fountain, which is fairly new. He says, did you turn it on? And I said, no. I haven't even been in the garage. Well, here's the switch that turns it off and on. See? I wondered how long it would take them to figure that out. But apparently they were just up. Just in the last hour or so, because that wasn't on earlier, and neither one of us turned it on. So apparently now they figured out how to turn the fountain on. It still blows my mind that they come up during the day. We're just right inside the house, and Jim, they just do stuff. I guess like we've become all part of a family, and they have to still stay hidden, but they come up and do fun stuff. So now if we want to go back to the whole little guy, possibly eating. It's like, did he bring snacks with him? Come up to the Disneyland and bring a snack and have fun. I don't know. It's Tuesday, January 28th, 12:04 a.m. At, let's see the date or the time here. Whoops. Okay, at 9:08 p.m. I took out some fruit and I put it on the stand beside my chair, which is in front of the pampas grass, kind of at the edge of the garden. I took out a plum and 2 apples. Now I just went out there to see if I could get Bitsy in, because she's out. Couldn't find her. And I took the flashlight out and looked, and the plum and that apple's gone. So there's just that apple still out there. And I think that's pretty cool, because they didn't take it all. A lot of times that's what they do. They just, it's like they're not greedy. They'll leave one for you just in case you want one. And I'm sure if it was a raccoon or something, it would have taken all of it. I didn't do a video out there because I didn't want them to see me doing it. I felt like they were close. I just didn't want them to feel like I was trapping them. I don't know how else to explain it. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, we'll see what happens in the morning. One more thing real quick. Whenever I put it out there, I told him, hey, this is for you. You can eat it. And I demonstrated eating. And I rubbed my belly and said, yum. So they must have been watching. It's now 8:20 in the morning, and the apple that was here at midnight is gone. So all 3 pieces of fruit are gone. I do see a little indent right here, but I don't think that would hold a footprint for long. And I don't see any pieces or crumbs or anything like a raccoon or possum ate them. So, pretty cool. Okay, I'm taking a walk, and it's just a short walk because I'm trying to get my legs back to being somewhat normal. So it's a very short walk. I started walking a little bit up the driveway, and then I come back here and walk around the cabin and back, and that's it. I did that last night, and this morning I'm walking and I see this golf ball. It was right here in this little divot. Can't really see it. Right here. And I picked it up before I thought to make a video. But I have no idea where that came from. Like, there hasn't been anybody here. Jim just mowed. Surely he would have hit that. There hasn't been anybody here hitting golf balls that I know of, so where on earth did that come from? And it looks fairly new. And the Bigfoot's just gifted me a golf ball. But it looked like an older one, and I know my boys used to hit golf balls from up here down into the field, and I figured that's probably where one of the Bigfoots found a golf ball and brought it to me. This one, though, looks fairly new, so I don't know where it came from. There was that one time a couple years ago that they brought a yellow golf ball and put it in the garage, and then they brought a golf tee, it was orange, and put it in on the railing as a gift. And there is a golf course, not maybe 5-6 miles at the most from here. So I don't know. Not sure where this came from or why it was back there. So there you go. I was just thinking that, they have left me gifts along my walking paths before, several times actually. Gifts, and I found like things that kind of like marked it, the trail. So I'm kind of thinking maybe they left this for me, because this is probably the third. Today was like the third time that I walked that path. So they might have realized that maybe I was going to start walking that path. I'm not sure if I should just keep it or put it out for them. I think I'll put it right here. Whoops. I think I'll put it right here. See what happens. So last night Jim took a leaf blower and blew the stuff off the porch. Looks like it's back again now. I think the birds are doing something. Anyhow, the marbles that are usually over here, he picked up and put on the chair. This chair over here, my chair, he put them in this crease so that they wouldn't roll. That's where they were last night, and now this morning they are separated into twos and kind of stuffed under that pillow on my chair. And Bitsy was out last night, so I suppose she could have laid on it and then they rolled down there, but it seems a little odd that they're separated like that, perfectly together and in twos. So I don't know if Bigfoots did that or not. It's possible. It's Sunday, July 3rd, 7:47 p.m. Okay, so I just got up from a nap. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but I was really tired. Anyways, when I first got up, the first thing I noticed was that the marbles are moved again, and they are all together now. And they were not like that earlier this morning. And I thought, well, perhaps one of the cats jumped up there and they moved. Then I went to the back, and there was something that told me that the Bigfoots were up for sure. So now I think that they did the marbles. Something else I noticed is that there's another stick added here. This one. And that could be just a random occurrence. I'm not sure. But I will show you now what I found at the back. Okay, the first thing I noticed was that in my chair is a stem from a flower. And I know where that came from because yesterday I was deadheading and I took a bucket and was throwing them in, and some I just let drop. But they've picked one of them up and put it in my chair. And I know that wasn't there earlier because Bitsy was laying on the cushion. and this wasn't here. So that's pretty sweet that they gave me a flower. And another thing, Jim was sitting here. He said he thought I put that there for the Bigfoots. I said, no, I didn't. They did that. And then he said, well, what about this? And up here on the top of the swing is a Y stick. And I suppose this could have fallen from the tree. It's very possible, but I know it wasn't there yesterday because I was sitting on the swing. I'm not as sure about that being from them, but it is interesting. And here's a little tiny Y thing from the tree. That probably fell too. But I know this didn't fall. That's pretty cool. I was just sitting on the swing and I just happened to look over here and noticed a nest laying on the ground. And it just so happens that this is the exact area where I put nests when they give them to me. So I think they got me another nest and put it here. Yeah, I put them right here. And the last time they gave me a nest, it was in the food basket. I picked it up and I brought it over here and put it down. And of course they dissolve after a while from the rain and everything, but that's pretty cool. So I was just admiring the sunset, and I walked over here. I sat back down after I saw the nest. I looked at the sky, it was pretty, so I walked over here, I took a picture, turned around to walk back, and I noticed that right here in this dirt, exactly right in the center, is a stick, a Y stick, and I mean dead center. How cool is that? They've been busy out here this afternoon. An added note, not that this is why they put it here, but it is pointing to the locust grove where I think they go a lot. So there's that too. Okay, on July 5th, I wasn't able to make a video. I think it was raining really hard or about to rain really hard. I can't remember, but I'm going to do my commentary via screen capture. So let's look at what I found outside the morning of July 5th. Okay, this is what I found. It was our bird bath, made of cement, very, very heavy, was on the ground, upside down, obviously knocked off. Now, we had like 80-mile-an-hour winds come through not long ago, and it did not bother the bird bath at all. So I was pretty sure that this was Bigfoot related. So I snapped a picture. I went inside. Oh, actually, I flipped it over so I could see the inside of the bowl, and I also wanted to get it off my plants. So I flipped it over and was kind of surprised at what I saw inside the bowl. So here it is. There are finger marks, and there's like algae at the bottom of it that needed cleaned out, which I may clean it out later. But these finger marks are like they're playing, like they were playing in the water and swooping it around. Like, okay, there's actually two sets of prints, which I'll show you in a minute. But the bigger set, you can see it swoops around like this, like it was taking its hand and swirling it around. And then the second set is right down here, and it looks like a very small hand. So let's see if we can see that. This is just showing the larger set of prints. Okay, yeah, right there. See this? There's like 4 little fingers that looks like it reached in and possibly pulled back. And I think that might be what caused this to tip over. Because it was probably little trying to see in, you know? And it made it get off balance and fall off. So this is what tells me that this is what I was telling you to look for that happened, that confirmed to me that there were 2 smaller ones up together. A really little one, like the 1-year-old, would have been the little fingerprints at the bottom that I was just showing you, and the other one would have been a taller one. It was in there swirling its hand around. So that's what I think happened, and I think they had a whoopsie. Didn't mean to do it, but they did. So pretty interesting stuff. It's Tuesday, July 12th at 7:04 p.m. and we've just had an interesting development. Jim got in the fridge and he noticed that another carton of eggs was gone. And he told me about it. He said if you had eggs in there, because we had just discussed eggs for some reason, he said they're not there. The Bigfoots must have taken them. So I couldn't remember 100% if I left them in there or brought them in the house. So I was like, well, I can't really say for sure that I didn't, so we'll let that one go. Well, Jim just went out, got in the fridge again, and he was taking the rest of the beer out of the carton to put in the fridge. And he noticed that inside of it was this foil crumpled up. And he had rhubarb in that fridge, in the garage, wrapped in that foil. So apparently they took the rhubarb, watered up the foil, threw it in the box, probably hoping we wouldn't notice that the rhubarb was missing. And apparently they took the eggs too. Since they did this, then yes, I would say. And actually, I came in and I checked the fridge, because when he told me that, I was outside. I checked the inside fridge and there's only 1 dozen eggs in the inside fridge. So I was like, there's only 1 dozen in there, Jim. I think they did take it, but I wasn't sure. Then he found this. So they're making themselves right at home at our house in the garage. I just noticed something really cool when I took this out of the box. You can see where they grabbed it. There's 3 finger marks. There's one. There's one. And there's one. It's like it was holding it. Like this. One, that's the way the fingers would have been anyway, something like that. His fingers are bigger than mine, I think. It wasn't a real little one. Oh yeah, and there would be the thumb right there. Thumb would have went boink. So they grabbed it and squeezed it like that. Huh. I just took this out and showed it to Jim. And I had him try to fit his fingers, and his fingers are not long enough for it all to match up either. So whoever this was had longer fingers than mine or Jim's. Because his fingers didn't line up right, and they also didn't reach completely to reach all the holes. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's like kind of like a, I mean, it's not a handprint, but it's sort of like a 3D size estimate thingy. I don't know what to call it. This is Thursday, July 14th, 8:12 a.m. Yesterday, well, it's been really hot, and last evening the weather broke and it cooled off. So I sort of figured the Bigfoots would get active again last night, and I see that they were up because in my chair on the front porch here is a Y stick, dead center. So they put that here as a gift, which is awesome. And I've already been around the rest of the house and I haven't seen anything. So that's all they did. But I'm happy. Okay, we just had a very interesting development. But before I get to that, I want to tell you something that happened yesterday. I believe I was taking a nap, and when I got up, Jim said that this flower was laying right here on the step into the house from the garage. It's a little flat, dried flower, one from my garden. He left it there, he didn't touch it, but a wind blew up and it got stuck over here. So I picked it up, but I didn't do anything about it. I was trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yesterday. That was whenever they put that stick on my chair also, same day. Or the stick was during the night or whatever in the morning. This was later in the day. So now for what happened just now. Okay, I was taking a nap. I got up at around 6 o'clock. It's now 7. I moseyed around for a few minutes. Then I came out here and I walked out on the porch, and then I did a walk around the house like I do, checking things. Then when I got back around here, I decided that it was really dry and I needed to water everything. So I started watering, and that took quite a while. The whole time I was doing that, Jim was inside. Now, as an experiment, I put 9 apples in the fridge. I figured if they're going to get in here and get stuff, I might as well give them something to get. Well, whenever I checked, when I came outside from my nap, first thing I did was open the fridge to see how many apples were there. There were 9. Closed the door, went out, did my thing, started watering. Then Jim and Amy came out. They were in and out. I watered in the front. I came back in. I got a beer out of the fridge and noticed that there's that apple's gone. So apparently, while I was in the front or in the back watering, and Jim was inside, they couldn't have come from this door, so they had to come in that door. And they came in and got an apple out of the fridge, and I was right outside. So that's crazy. And just looking for, I see some smears on the carpet. That's probably from us. So anyways, yeah, they were just in here. I'm wondering if that little one that had its prints all over the car last August, if it is getting really comfortable with us. However, the foil that was in Jim's beer box, those fingers were bigger than a 1-year-old, or maybe 1.5. I'm not sure how it was when it left the prints, but it was a really small infant. So I'm guessing it's, well, it'd be about a year old because this is only July, and it's been almost a year. So I'm thinking right now that 2 are coming up a lot together, like an older juvenile and this one that's probably around a year old. So that's where I'm at right now. Sunday, July 17th, 8:16 p.m. Nothing happened today. I've checked this fridge several times, and the apples were the same as they were. There was 8, with the one in the front row in the middle missing. So I just got up, came out here to check it, and look at this. I mean, I've been expecting another apple to disappear, at least one more. But no, that's not what happened. No, they've taken the apple from the back corner and put it up here in the front. I don't know if that's supposed to distract me so that I don't know that they took the one that was in the front. I don't know why they did that. But okay, everything else is the same. That's strange. Why didn't they just take another apple?